Hey, welcome back. It's Jennifer Lee. It is an awesome 80s weekend. I've got Noble McIntyre back in studio. Hello.
Hello. Thanks for having me back.
Thank you. Lots going on today, but we want to talk about the 80s, of course, because
Always.
It's an awesome 80s weekend. How about your favorite Super Bowl of the 80s?
Oh, man, there were some good ones. The 80s was dominated by the 49ers. I think they won 4 of those 10. The Raiders, my team, won 2 of those. And so between those 2 teams, there were 6 of the 10. My favorite is going to be 84. It's the Oakland Raiders against the Washington Redskins. Marcus Allen was the running back. I was a huge Raider fan. I was 14 years old. The reason I was a Raider fan was because back in those days, NFL players didn't make what they make now. And they actually worked summer jobs. And there was a summer employee for a company called Steiger Tractor where my dad worked. And his name was Errol Mann. He was the kicker for the Raiders, and he came to my little town in Burns Flat. And I'm 14 years old, and I have this guy kicking his football. He's an NFL player, so I fell in love with the Raiders. And so I'm a Raiders fan as a result. So the 1984 game where the Raiders won, I think 38-3, just demoralized the Washington Redskins, who I think won 2 Super Bowls that decade as well.
Wow, I can see a kid looking at him going, that's so cool.
I wanted to be a Raider. I wanted to be an NFL football player.
You know, I can remember when the guys at school, they all looked like they were part of the Oakland Raiders. They dressed the part. They did everything.
I've been to an Oakland Raider game. Those people are crazy. And I'm a Raider fan. Right. They dress up. They're just nuts. It's just a fun, exciting environment. So, yeah, 84 for me. What about you?
Well, not that I remember a whole lot, but I want to say probably, let's talk about the first one.
Okay.
Well, not the first one, but the first one of the 80s would have been Super Bowl 14, the Steelers versus the Rams in 1980.
That's a great one. I thought you'd say the 85 Bears. Jim McMahon, William Refrigerator Perry. Everybody knows the Super Bowl Shuffle.
That's true.
We talked about that
That's
before.
True.
85 Bears, that Super Bowl was just crazy fun because they had such a persona on their team. Again, I think the 49ers were probably the team of the decade because they won 4 of the 10. But the Raiders, the Bears, and the Steelers, I mean, it was just a great time for football.
Everything was football. Now, my dad was a fan of the Packers, but they didn't really play that often in footballs. And I asked him, why did you like the Packers? And he couldn't explain it. He was like, either the Packers would win, and he would root for them, or the Bears, and those were the top 2.
So my mother is a huge Green Bay Packer fan, and the Green Bay Packer is the only team that individual people can own a piece of the company. You can buy a single share of stock. So she has a 1 share of stock. It's the only one that's held by individuals. The reason she was a Packer fan is her father, my grandfather, James Noble, which is where I got my name Noble.
Yeah.
He played professional football for the precursor team to the Green Bay Packers. So it was before the NFL even existed, and it was the team that became the Green Bay Packers. So since her dad, my grandfather, played for the Packers, she's a lifelong Packer fan.
See, maybe that's why. Why. Well, listen, I was going to ask you, we talked about last week about the photographer that kind of ghosted a lot of people, including your daughter at the wedding. So how is that going? Can you say much about it?
So I can. So we're 9 days into this thing. My involvement was 9 days ago. For those of you out there listening that haven't heard, my daughter got married in May, and I discovered in November that she was having some difficulty getting the footage from her wedding. And I said, baby girl, do you want me to help? And Mackenzie's an unbelievable adult. She's a good woman. She said, no, Dad, I don't need you always helping me. I'll take care of this. Didn't think another thing about it. Last Tuesday, I saw on Channel 4 a news story where there were 2 brides that were just devastated. One's wedding was in 2023 in November, the other one early 2024, and they could not get their footage, and it's just gone. And it was the same wedding videographer. So I thought, okay, this is larger than just my daughter. I am going to get involved now. So I called Channel 4 and I said, come do an interview, and they did. And what I said in the interview was, look, I want this footage for my daughter, and I'm going to get it. There were some very intimate moments that I had with her where I saw her in her dress for the first time. But this is bigger than her. I said, Mackenzie McIntyre has a Noble McIntyre. I mean, he kind of kicked the wrong hornet's nest when he didn't make the connection.
Yeah.
But these other brides don't have that. And so I want to help them too. I want to help every one of these brides that's been affected, and I'll do it for free because this is a big deal to them and big footage. So I said, I'll help everybody. And at the time, I knew about those 2 plus my daughter for a total of 3. Here we are 9 days later. I represent 28 brides that do not have their wedding footage and another 34 that have paid for weddings in 2025 for which they're concerned he's not going to show up. That's a whole different issue. Wow. My primary issue is the 28 and trying to get their footage back. And as I've told people when they've asked me about this, there's a time when aggression is the word of the day. I'm an unbelievably aggressive trial lawyer. I want to win. I want to succeed on behalf of my client, and I'm not going to stop until I do. But there's a point in litigation where you're winning and you don't have to have your foot on their throat anymore. You don't have to keep dragging them under the bus. And we're to that point. He's cooperating through his attorney. I don't have a real good reason for why he's done what he's done, but I now know and have been advised, because we've scrubbed his computer with another technician, that at least some, I don't know if all, because we're talking about really high-end weddings. Not the wedding I had in 1993 that cost me $7,500,
Right.
where Uncle Joe did the camera. We're talking weddings that cost as much as people's houses, for which there were 3 wedding videographers, there was a drone operator, a tremendous amount of footage. I now know that at least some, hopefully all, footage exists for all 28. I'm delivering 28 1 terabyte drives to the attorney tomorrow. Sometime in the next week, I hope to get all of that footage. Hopefully it's all, but whatever it is, it's more than these brides had before. And so they are cooperating. I am going to be able to successfully deliver some footage, hopefully all. And so I think we're going to have a good resolution.
Okay, so you're working on it. People were curious. I had some emails going, "Hey, what's going on with
You know,
with Noble McIntyre?"
the funny thing is, I'm going to help everybody for free, but I give daily updates to these brides. And I had made a comment that, I'm happy to do this because everybody's thanking me. Happy to do it for nothing. But please know, back in 88 to 92, when I was at Oklahoma Baptist University, I crashed a few weddings just for the cake. I love wedding cake. And I discovered if you just say, if asked, that I'm with the groom's family, nobody questioned you further. And so as I told another station, don't judge. I was poor and the cake was good. So I made a joke that I love wedding cake. Well, yesterday at my office, Allie's Boutique Bakery from El Reno showed up, and some of the brides had bought the topper off a wedding cake and delivered it to my office. So yesterday I'm in my office eating wedding cake. So I think I'm the only lawyer in Oklahoma that works for wedding cake.
You had a flashback.
Yep.
I can see you in that movie, The Wedding Crashers.
Oh,
I can see
well,
you.
And the wedding crashers are the best people to come to the wedding because they're always in a good mood and they're pleasant. They don't want to draw attention to themselves. You have to bring Uncle Jim to the wedding, and he's no fun. Wedding crashers are always the life of the party.
Right.
So we had a good time.
Yeah, and they're always positive. That's who you want to come to your wedding.
Yeah, if you could just have a wedding full of wedding crashers, it'd be the best wedding ever.
Yeah.
Everybody be in a pleasant mood.
That's funny. Let's go over, just for review, if someone takes advantage of you, what you should do first.
Well, other than call me.
Right, right.
And I'm easy to get a hold of. My number is 405-777-7000. I'm easy to reach. It's just noble@mcintyrelaw.com is my email address. But if you think that something's happened to you and you have a legal question, I answer questions for free for people all the time. Don't hesitate to shoot me an email or give me a call. Even if it's not what I specialize in, I'm happy to help put you in connection with somebody who does. Because at this point in my career, I've been doing it almost 30 years, I know somebody who does everything. So I'm happy to help. So just give me a call and I'll point you in the right direction.
And you can also email us here at asknoble@tylermedia.com, as always.
Sure.
All right, thank you, Noble McIntyre.